Before we get into the video, let me just say I have little doubt time travel will play a significant role in Breath of the Wild 2. Just look at some of the biggest questions left after this last trailer. Why is Link wearing this new outfit? Why do bokoblins and other enemies suddenly have bigger horns? Why is the Great Deku Tree and the magma on Death Mountain missing? Why is Link's face hidden throughout this trailer? Why is this puddle of water returning to a mere droplet? Why is Sheikah technology absent from Hyrule? Why does Link have a new ability that seems to revert time? And why does the final shot of this trailer not show the floating islands it just spent most of its runtime introducing? Every one of these can be explained with one simple answer: time travel. But that leads me to one last crazy detail I've been dying to take a second look at. An idea I proposed in my recent Ganondorf's plan theory. Now, if you haven't yet, I highly suggest you go check out that video, as a lot of the information I'm about to discuss is rooted in that video's findings. But to sum it up in one sentence, I think the appearance of shadows in this trailer could be hinting at Hyrule undergoing a massive change in Breath of the Wild sequel. It could be reverting in time. In this video, I explored how shadows in the sequel's trailer seem to be cast in a different direction than they ever reach in Breath of the Wild. I then hypothesized that this could be a hint that Earth's rotation might have been reversed in the sequel, with the sun now rising in the west and setting in the east, almost as if time itself was now rewinding. Now, figuring out exactly how the Hyrule reverting back in time theory would work in practice is tricky because there are many different ways it could work. This could be a system of set eras Hyrule reverts back to as the story progresses. Perhaps it could be a case of seeing past Zelda games' eras reimagined into Breath of the Wild's existing map, such as the Twilight era, the Force era, or even the Sky era. On the other hand, all this time reverting could happen at the very beginning of the game, with Ganondorf sending Link back 10,000 years to his era, the era of the first Great Calamity. Then Link's goal would be to advance with every main objective of the game. So, for example, say you finish a temple. Okay, now you have progressed time back towards the present by 100 years. This way, Link isn't exploring reimagined versions of old Zelda game worlds, but the history of Breath of the Wild's Hyrule from the first Great Calamity to the present. Finally, I have one more idea for how this could work, and that's in real time. Essentially, you're on a timer Majora's Mask dial, but instead of moving forward, it's moving back. This one is more a fun idea to think about than a viable way to integrate time reversion into the sequel. For a game of this scale, I'm not entirely sure a system such as Majora's would even work. Still, I do know that after examining the idea for this theory, I require a new experimental sequel to Majora's Mask using the time reversion idea. I think the case for time travel playing a huge role in Breath of the Wild 2 is pretty packed full with evidence. But with that said, this shadow-given revelation I detailed might not actually be filed as evidence in time travel's favor. And while I do absolutely love this theory, after further research, it's probably not the right one if we're looking for scientific accuracy. What appears to be the more likely answer to our shadow discrepancy problem is that Breath of the Wild 2 could actually take place during a different season, or even have integrated seasons into its gameplay. See, as the seasons change, so do our shadows. In summer, your location receives the most direct sunlight it can, hence the sun glides through the sky more directly above you. In winter, however, you'll find the sun travels at more of a curved motion across the sky, since the sun is not directly aimed at your region at this point in the Earth's orbit. This is due not to the Earth's rotation on its axis changing as I suggested in the original theory, but the Earth's yearly rotation around the sun. Earth rotates on its axis at an angle, meaning as it orbits the sun, different parts of the world receive more sunlight over different periods, leading to the creation of seasons. So it's possible the world didn't start spinning in the wrong direction, but more that we're viewing it from a different point in its yearly orbit. For example, say the entirety of Breath of the Wild takes place in late winter. Maybe the sequel will be set 6 months down the line in late summer, with the daily cycle of shadows noticeably different. Breath of the Wild being closer to the winter solstice has its sun glide across the sky at a lower angle, while Breath of the Wild 2 being closer to the summer solstice will give us a sun that glides through the sky more directly above Hyrule, resulting in a change in shadows' positions. So if this shift in time is the cause of the difference in shadows, that brings up the question, could Breath of the Wild 2 be implementing its own seasons? Whether that means seasons would gradually shift the environmental conditions of Hyrule as you play, or that the process be done manually. This is a concept that has been explored in the Zelda series before with Oracle of Seasons. In that game, the land of Holodrum can be transformed between the 4 seasons by using the Rod of Seasons, which is used as a puzzle-solving tool. Say in winter water freezes over, in spring flowers bloom, in summer water can dry up, and in fall, leaves will fall. There's a chance Breath of the Wild 2 could do something similar if seasons return, as making seasons a part of the world's natural cycle could be hard to implement. Instead, I see it as more likely that changing seasons would work in the same way as Oracle of Seasons, being initiated by the player. It could even be done again with the Rod of Seasons. It would be a great way to expand upon Breath of the Wild's immersive overworld while giving the landscape a bit of a new twist. Also, there is the factor of director bias since Hidemaru Fujibayashi got his start working on the Zelda series as director of the Oracle games. Just something worth mentioning. Now, as strong of a case as there is for changes in time or seasons being the answer we've been searching for, there are a few more things worth mentioning before we close this case on the Shadow mystery. First, beginning with this shot from the second trailer, which shows a sky lit with what closest resembles Hyrule's morning lighting. However, the sun is positioned in the western sky of Hyrule. Maybe there have been some drastic changes to how lighting works throughout the day, or maybe the view from the Sky Islands employs a different lighting engine. But I can't help but look at this shot and see it as a sliver of hope that my original time reversion theory may still hold some merit. But there is one more option that could explain everything. That being that it was all just some minor trailer oversight. What if, come next year in the final build of this game, when I walk up to this exact same tree, I'll find a shadow that now mimics that of Breath of the Wild's, meaning that the reason the shadow in this trailer was off wasn't intentional, but the result of an unfinished build or devs meddling with the lighting system for this trailer. Now, I am by no means an expert in game design, but I think this bit of information Eiji Aonuma dropped about the development of Breath of the Wild might be telling as to how something like this could accidentally slip through the cracks. He detailed how the game's physics engine took so much time since changing one aspect can affect everything else, since the engine handles different aspects of the game world. Maybe the answer to this mystery isn't time reversion or the return of seasons, but as simple as a shift in Breath of the Wild's lighting system caused by developers changing the game elsewhere. I know it's not the most exciting explanation, but it is the last one I have to offer you. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the video. Any way you slice it, this mystery of the shadows has by far become the most intriguing detail in Breath of the Wild 2's second trailer, to me personally. It could be the key to understanding some of the game's most bonkers changes, or something as small as a simple, unintended mistake. Whatever it is, I can't wait to find out come this game's release. If you did enjoy the theory and the video and all that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I see the numbers, and apparently only 15% of you are subscribed to watch the videos. So there you go. Hit the little red button below the video, and it helps me so much. All you have to do is hit the button, just give it a little tap. Also, let me know down below, what do you guys think about everything we discussed here today? There was a lot. Are you still on board the time reversion theory with me? You want to see that happen? Do you think that seasons might actually return? Is this just some small little detail from a trailer that is going to amount to nothing? I don't know, but we will eventually find out. That's the cool thing about this one. We will have an answer one way or the other if the shadows actually meant anything. We'll see someday soon if we're believing Nintendo sometime next year. It's exciting. If you want to do me one more favor, you can like the video to help YouTube share it around. And besides that, you can find me on Twitter at XenogamerYT, join the Discord server with the link in the description below, and come by the Twitch channel every Friday night for new streams. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I will see you very soon with more new videos. Until then, everyone, bye-bye.